What a tangled web we weave when first we practice to conceive. A program that will inform, educate, and entertain. We go into a second season promising to continue in that vein. We much appreciate the awards and the favorable critique. By the way, my name is Alvin King, and this is We Speak.
Mom, can we get some ice cream?
Please, Mom, please.
No, we're having dinner soon.
Please.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of children in foster care who will take you just as you are.
Its name is Killer. Thought of to be a thriller, worldwide wrecker, putting a scratch on people's records, leaving them without a song to sing. Killer passing, killer going, killer person like no other killer. Spreads like a rumor from one person to another. Don't stay protected and you'll end up like the other. A killer with no words, a killer with no sounds, a killer that will do whatever to take you out of bounds. But hold up, back it up. Let's take it back to where you should have wrapped it up. Now I said what I had to say, I did what I had to do. Now all that's left for me to do is wrap it up, I'm through.
If I got to go to college, oh my goodness. I like discovering new things. You get to see what works for you and what doesn't. That helps you evolve as a person. You get to make like a supernova of skill or talent or whatever it is. I've always wanted to go to college. I just feel like that's my destiny. My name is Queen, and I am your dividend.
Hello, everyone. Well, we are back for another season. Welcome to the first episode of our second season of We Speak. I'm Alvin King, your host and moderator. But before we go any further, I want to say thank you to the DCTV and the local public access community for awarding We Speak with the 2014 Best Entertainment Program Award. On behalf of our amazing panel, we are also thankful to our amazing producer, Tony Wesley, for his vision to create a vehicle that promotes freedom of speech and fosters awareness in the community. Over the last year, Bill Cosby, one of America's most famous TV dads, received alleged sexual allegations from over 20 different women, but hasn't been convicted of one crime. Yet, he's been accused publicly and prosecuted by America. Alleged cases of police brutality that has caused a new flux of racial tension reminiscent of the 1968 riots following the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King. And an avalanche of negative press has been placed on the world of sports centered around domestic violence and child abuse inside the NFL. But 30 years ago this fall, The Cosby Show debuted on NBC, and its star was catapulted into the comedic stratosphere. The timing is on point, though, for the release of a biography written by a Newsweek editor by the name of Mark Whitaker. Cosby, His Life and Times Documents, the man's rise from Philadelphia projects, while also detailing the creation of his family sitcom and the murder of his son Ennis in 1997. The book is notable, however, for its complete avoidance of sexual abuse allegations that have dogged Bill Cosby for more than a decade. But I need to tell you how this started. In 2002, Andrea Crosstand, director of the operations of Temple University's women's basketball team, allegedly met Bill Cosby. Constrand claimed that Cosby, who had been a member of Temple's track team and football team, assumed a role as her mentor. Then in January 2004, according to giving her herbal pills to ease her anxiety, Cosby touched her breast and vaginal area, rubbed his penis against her hand, and digitally penetrated her. However, on January 13th, 2005, Constrand, who since moved near Toronto to study massage therapy, accused Cosby of inappropriate touching, groping her breast and placing her hand on his genitals. To the Canadian authorities, Cosby's lawyers called the allegation utterly preposterous and plainly bizarre. Since February of 2005 to February 2015, thus far, 28 women have publicly accused Cosby of inappropriate sexual behavior. So panel, here we go. Some questions for you.
That's a lot.
How do you feel about the allegations? How do you feel the allegations are playing out?
I think I need to back up to digitally. I got to go back. I need to know how you digitally penetrate someone.
Well, it has something to do with the alphanumeric. So I guess it was his fingers. He has 10. Yeah, he has 10 fingers. So I guess he used all 10 of them.
Oh, I was thinking technology. I'm like, technology is to the point now where we can digital. Okay, me and my computer were gonna have a talk tonight. I was like, wow, I felt cheated. Okay, so I'm not getting cheated.
Okay, but tell me, how do you feel the allegations are playing out? I mean, in the media and for him and his family. I mean,
it looks really bad. Yeah, it just, I don't know what to say. It just looks bad. It's like where there's that much smoke, there's got to be some fire. So, and then this many women, and they have nothing to lose, and nobody's trying to make any money off of it. So,
but one's got to question that many people all of a sudden. I mean, why hasn't this played
Why
out?
is no
Like,
timing?
Like, all of a sudden now,
suddenly it's like,
and then there are more and more coming consistently.
You said, "Oh, teacher touched me." Teacher touched me too.
And me too.
You too.
Digitally.
Like, it's just, that to me seems kind of, it's not funny, but it seems almost comical the way it's kind of like a domino effect.
Right.
But I mean, like, why did not one speak up at that point? It's, I guess I wanted it to happen like right then and there, but I guess maybe that's not always the way it happens.
But apparently, like, I think they were saying that people will always would have a lawsuit and then they sweep it on the table or he'd pay them off or whatever.
Or
and
settle.
then, like, he settled out of court. So.
well, when I think overall about how it's playing out, I think about how the plug is being pulled on his television show, and how all the people who are involved or who were actors or actresses in that show
Suffer.
They're suffering because of this, and the man hasn't been accused. Now, you know, my next question: do you think that Bill Cosby has sexual relations with these women?
My honest opinion is, I mean, maybe out of 28, 2, maybe 3, but 28, that's a far stretch.
What, 20? It's over a 15-year period. You think it's a man couldn't have sexual relations with 28 women?
I mean, but why would 28 people all of a sudden within a year span or so just come out now? I mean, whether you paid off or not. I mean, now all of a sudden everybody's coming out. It kind of makes you...
Maybe one person's story is giving the other person courage. Like, okay, I never said anything about this, so maybe now it's okay that I can say it, because he was so powerful then. He was, you know, he had so much power, and he was he was everybody's dad, you know, on TV, and nobody wanted to tarnish that image, and, you know, and now everybody's coming out with it, and it's like, okay, that happened to me too. That gives me the ability. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
The pink elephant in the room. Okay, me and my conspiracy theories. It just screams Illuminati. It what? It just screams. You always scream. The studio audience was thinking the same thing, right? It screams Illuminati.
what did he not do when the Illuminati got him? What do you think?
Well, see, now that's a whole nother show.
That's another talk show.
But I'm just saying, it screams Illuminati, or like Paul Mooney always says, you know, they get their end wake-up call. Because at some point in time, I hate to say it, but I'll say it, it happens. Like, we always have these black men that are in the public eye. And when they get to a certain point, for some reason, something mysterious always happens all of a sudden that knocks them down.
Right.
It's the same thing that Michael Jackson was talking about before he died.
Yes.
He claimed same thing with Illuminati, that they were after him and they want to tarnish your reputation first, and then it just escalates from there. I don't know about the Illuminati, I'm just saying. Tupac said it.
feel as though I need to go research this now.
There are millions of videos on YouTube
There are.
about it.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so let me ask you, having said that, do you think that Bill Cosby is a rapist?
Allegedly.
I do not want him to be that because I want to remember the Cosby Show, what I grew up on, wholesome family values. I want to now, if he is, it's horrible, but I don't want that to be the case.
I don't want us to make him a rapist and have the whole asterisk next to his name
Right.
when we will probably never really find out or have any suitable evidence to convict
It
him.
was so long ago. There's like,
was so long
where's the
ago.
evidence? There's no evidence now.
Well,
So
being that he hasn't been accused, I mean, this is one thing, and I'm.
He hasn't been convicted.
I mean, he hasn't been convicted. Do you think the way Spelman handled the situation, you know, I think it was in Spelman. Is it, what college did he donate money to? It is
The one in
Morehouse. Is it Morehouse? It's Morehouse. He left the board, but they kept the money.
As they should.
Oh, that was Temple.
of course they kept them on.
As they
yeah.
should.
As they should.
Yeah, I mean, because those dollars go to the school, they go to education for other, for other young people. So that money should not be given back.
Okay.
I don't think, personally.
Okay.
Listen, student loan debt is horrible. Okay, so whatever we can do
I
to
hear
make
you,
this
brother.
education
Okay,
system
okay.
better for
Okay.
the kids that are coming behind me, Sally Mae. Let's I don't think we should take that from the school. Let's not punish the school for what he might have or allegedly did. You know what I mean?
But it seems like it's supposed to be in this country you're innocent until proven guilty. But for some reason lately we stamp guilty before proven innocent. Lately, I don't know.
Depends on who it is.
So I'm torn between it. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. I really love the Cosby Show, and I grew up on it. And I think that's sad that they pulled the show from, because I think there's so many younger people that the message that the show had is still relevant today, and there's so many young people that that would not get to see the show,
Because of this.
because of this,
situation.
yeah. Yeah.
Well, do you think that the accusers have something to gain from this? Because I mean, I think it's what's the model who had all the facelifts? Her name Janice Dickinson. And then there's the African American model, Beverly Johnson. I mean, I don't know if they're working, but what do they?
They're working Bill Cosby.
They both
Are
working.
they working Bill Cosby?
Good job.
You know what's going on with that? So what do you think these women have to gain from these allegations?
Janice is known for being attention-getting, and I don't know if any of you saw the interview. There was a different Janice. It wasn't the Janice that was trying to get attention. She seemed coherent. She didn't seem like she was high on anything, like she sometimes is, because she's battled addiction. And it just, something about her story just seems so believable. The details of it and just the way she talked and the way she was just focused, it seems so believable.
Wow.
She took a selfie in the 80s. She took a selfie of her and Bill Cosby with the whole thing going on with the Polaroid camera.
She did?
She took a selfie.
She took a selfie?
She took a selfie.
So she took a selfie with them having sex?
Yes, what she said was...
She's partly a genius because she invented the selfie.
She invented the selfie.
Right, she did.
So what she
Janice
said...
Dickinson
She
selfie.
invented the
Hashtag.
Say
Janice
thank you, Kim
Dickinson
Kardashian.
selfie.
the selfie. And what she said was she felt like she was lucid, and she wanted to take the picture to remind herself of what was happening.
Consensual?
You want
Or
a
to
selfie
use
with
in
Bill
the future?
Cosby.
Oh
You
my
want a selfie
God,
with
it
Bill
sounds so
Cosby.
suspect now.
Because this was, of course, before she became Janice Dickinson.
At the end of the day, we could argue this all day, but we will never know because there's we can't go back.
Well, pressure isn't. I mean, pressure is a bad thing, and I mean, I think that the pressure that's being placed on Bill Cosby and his family and his career, somebody's going to break, and if and when the story really comes to full fruition, and if he admits that he's the criminal that everyone's going to
serial
make him, the
rapist.
serial rape, or the person who has sex with people who are asleep, he is really going to be under. I mean, his career is done.
You don't think the story's just going to go away?
No.
And we're going to forget about it eventually?
No.
gonna be OJ Part 2. We'll never
You
know.
think so?
We'll always
Yeah.
have our
No.
own speculations.
But
I don't
are
think
there
we'll ever
any
know.
like lawsuits or anything there?
Well, they can't. The statute of limitation is
So
passed.
what's going to happen?
That's why it's Illuminati. They just they only wanted
Okay, I'm on your
to
side.
mess
It's
up his
Illuminati.
career. They're just, I mean, they only wanted to mess up his career, and they did it. But I don't think they even thought about Keisha Knight Pulliam or Malcolm Jamal Warner or the other people who were counting on those royalties for the rest of their lives.
Did you hear what Felicia Rashad said?
Oh,
that
yes,
as the years go, the more years that go by, the smaller and smaller the checks get. So it's not like.
But they're still
They're
coming.
really, they're not huge checks that they're.
They're not
getting
as
for.
big as they were.
I know.
It's not huge, but it's still free.
They
And
get
it's-
$12 an episode.
Well, speaking of people who have an alliance to Bill Cosby, I don't know if you guys saw the Saturday Night Live 40th anniversary special, but Eddie Murphy was asked to do a parody on Bill Cosby, and he told them that he would do it, and then at the last minute he told them no, that he wasn't going to do it. Do you think that was a good move for Eddie Murphy to make, or how do you feel about that?
I think it was a good move for him to make. I think Bill Cosby is someone that he looks up to, and he probably was thinking about like. Yeah, I think for him, there's certain people that believe in they're on Bill Cosby's side. It might be career suicide for him to just not get involved. There's a lot of people that they've been asked about, and they're like, I don't want to go there. I don't want to get involved.
So loyalty exists.
Yeah.
You know, it does exist.
Yeah.
That's refreshing.
It
So,
has to.
Yeah.
I think it was big of him to actually not do. That's showing a sign of support. And then we're talking about Eddie Murphy. Come on, think he relates a little bit.
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what they wanted him to do. Like, if it were a parody about him being a serial rapist, then I could see that. But Bill Cosby had done a lot of great things, and he did parodies of James Brown, and they were hilarious, and it just wasn't a negative connotation. So he could have still brought Bill Cosby to the table for the 40th. It just didn't have to be something that had to be negative.
I think it has something to do with the sexual allegations, and he was against it. I don't know that for sure, but I'm pretty sure he could have just played Bill Cosby.
What if you could invest in the future of kids, like a stock? Not the kind of stock that's about making money, but a stock for social change. A whole new kind of investment called Better Futures. When you invest, it helps kids go to college. Believe in us, invest in us, watch us grow. My name is Sydney, and I'm your dividend.
Up, college is hard. Down, those books are heavy.
My sport is football, but my passion is education. So every year I take promising high schoolers on a college tour to show them that higher education means a brighter future. My name is Nnamdi Asamoah. I don't just wear the shirt, I live it.
You can be a reader, tutor, or mentor too. Take the pledge at liveunited.org/volunteer.
Do you wear this?
So I need to move on to the next topic today. This is actually one that's pretty sad for me, but in February of 2012, one of the most greatest singers of the world, Whitney Houston, died from an apparent drug overdose. 2 years and 50 weeks after that, that tragic event, her daughter, Bobbi Kristina, was found face down in a tub of water. Also of an apparent drug overdose. So my question about that is, who's watching Bobbi Kristina?
The Illuminati. No, I'm kidding.
You know what? because I don't know about you, but I saw something about to happen. I mean, just looking at it from an outsider looking in, I saw something about to happen. So you got a grandmother, you got aunts that are and godmothers, and you got a father, and you got a boyfriend.
Can I just say that, okay, to start off, there is just, I hate to say this, Lord forgive me, is there not just something a little bit creepy about the family in general?
That family needs to stay away from bathtubs.
You know
because
what?
no, I'm not being funny. I swear.
Showers
because she was
only.
found in the bathtub, and then did you hear like a week later, Dionne Warwick slipped and fell in the bathtub?
Right.
They need to stay away from it. Have all the
gotta stay
bathtubs
clean.
removed. They can take showers.
Stand-up showers only.
Well, it just feels like there's something negative, like
Just a stigma.
some negative force around the family.
Well, I mean, you know that and you're being kind.
I mean, I'm trying to be.
Well, you know what? You're kind. you are kind. I can say that. But Richie, I know that, well, I won't put words in your mouth, but I think that the family is just jacked up. You know, I mean, because maybe it's because they haven't dealt with maybe Bobby Christina really had not had the opportunity of dealing with grief, because you know that has to play into people's actions. If you know when you lose somebody of that magnitude, if she was that close to her mom. I'm not saying that everybody who grieves goes smoke crack. I'm not saying that, or end up in a tub, you know, with their face down. But it could happen when you destroy.
Conspiracy theory number 2 for the day.
And then they were saying that she had been in a car accident.
A week before.
A week before, and no one reported it, and she had all these bruises all over her body, and they don't know if it came from her boyfriend or if she was in a from
That's
a car
my
accident.
new conspiracy theory.
That's your new one?
the boyfriend / brother / cousin / fiance husband.
/ husband, everything, yeah.
No, they're not.
No,
married.
they're not married, but they used to say they were.
All of this, I think it's him.
Well, do you think all of what's being portrayed in the public about Bobby Christina are putting more emphasis on who's going to get her money than her what do you call it, her medical situation?
I'm not gonna lie. That's the first thing that came to my mind is who's gonna get the money. I thought it was gonna be the husband and then the mother. I mean, it's a big.
And you know they all fighting
and then you
for
got
it.
Bobby. You know, Bobby's like next in line, next to Ken. I mean, who's gonna stop him? You know,
that bathtub.
Well,
you know the family's probably plotting on how to stop him. You know, in advance to getting to what it is they believe he really wants anyway, which is the money.
Well, according to Bobby, in earlier February, when they ran the Whitney Houston story, they also had an interview with Bobby. One of the anchor persons from Access Hollywood interviewed him, and he said that Whitney Houston left him with nothing. Nothing. And when he said nothing, nothing.
What was she supposed to leave him with?
So, no. I say that in the vein of perhaps he doesn't have access to her money. Because,
He shouldn't.
you know,
He won't.
yeah,
He wouldn't. They weren't married. They were divorced.
All I can remember is Whitney. I don't know. Was she talking to Oprah? The last, like one of the last major interviews
Yes.
she did, and she painted this picture of her life with Bobby, like as the relationship was ending, and she said that he had painted eyes on the walls.
Yes.
Like just, you know.
The evil eye.
Yeah, the evil eye. So I'm just thinking, I'm not gonna leave you any money if you are painting evil eyes on my wall.
They were divorced. Why would she leave him anything?
Exactly.
I mean, there was clearly money in a trust for Bobby Christina,
Right.
and he's not the executor of that trust, and they are divorced. And I'm sure he got money when they got divorced because he was Mr. Whitney Houston. So I'm sure he got some money, but after she passed away.
But I mean, if she passes away, does he have access to that money? I mean, he is, once again, he's next
If
to
Bobby
Ken.
Christina passes away, you mean?
Yes.
Well, would
One
go
would
to
think
maybe her
why-
grandmother? The sister?
It depends on what
the
Whitney.
would be
It depends. Well, it depends on how Whitney set up her trust, because it's the trust for Bobby Christina. So, however she wrote the trust is who the money would go to.
So I mean, it could go to Aretha Franklin. But
you know what?
Moving right along. What do you think Nick Gordon, her estranged husband / god brother / cousin / nephew, what do you think his intentions are? Because you know they're not married. They never were. But what do you think his intentions are?
I can't
behind
really
the scenes?
say because I don't think we know enough about him. Like, what do we know in the media about him? We've never really heard him speak or talk about anything.
He's been arrested several times.
Okay.
He said he was on his way home, but apparently he wasn't on his way home to when he found her, but he really wasn't on his way home. His story didn't add up.
Oh, yeah?
So we know he's a liar.
So
I think
we
he
know
put
he's a
her
liar.
face
We know he's a
down in the
liar,
tub.
then fine.
But there's another. Wasn't there another guy?
His friend
that
was with
supposedly
her.
a drug dealer or something like that. That was potentially there. That they're still.
They
trying
said
to
it was
find
her
the
drug
person.
dealer.
See, but I think, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to pray for Bobby Christina.
We are.
Because she and the family needs our prayers, because that's a very tragic and terrible situation. So so we will pray for you, Bobby Christina.
Looking for these? You drive Buzzed. It could be one very expensive ride.
First, you gotta make bail. Then pay me to get your car back.
Your insurance premiums will go through the roof.
And my legal fees just keep adding up. All told, it could end up costing you $10,000.
Buzzed, busted, and broke. Because buzz driving is drunk driving.
Do you like this top? So gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You know, you really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
The effects of fruit punch.
Fruit punch. Hey, Kool-Aid. Look.
Do you see a number? Where? Do I keep going?
You good with that?
I'm good with that.
Stop tapping your feet.
Sorry.
Oh.
You said it wrong.
It's I speak.
What did I say? I talk.
It was
Let me
so
go back to-
urban.
I was so
It was so
urban.
urban. I
I was
talk.
so caught up in Empire, huh?
All the way to there.
I did, Tony. I was really good up until there, and I saw it.
It's fine.
Oh, this is camera one.
Yes.
1, 2. Okay.
Yeah.
And so we're supposed to be talking like, yeah.
I'm gonna take it. No, it's so funny because nobody, when we talk about winning the award, we should have picked the thing up and been like, hello, look at this award.
y'all
Snatch it up like
this.
Kanye.
There was a gap. Okay.
You don't seem excited about winning that award.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I feel like we need room to like cheer for the winning of the award.
Okay, I mean, can we have, I mean, y'all, I mean, it's sitting right here.
Read that part.
What?
The audience, y'all give it.
Okay,
Right,
I
I'm
was
like,
gonna say,
this is.
I
yes,
said panel.
please.
I
I was
like,
waiting for them to
y'all
scream,
were
but I didn't want to
this.
get fired.
And,
I was on the edge of my seat.
We're like, that happens all the time. We're used to this.
am I gonna do that again?
Another damn award. And at the end, audience, please applaud both of y'all. Thank you.
Both of y'all. You said both of
Tell me when.
5, 4, 3, 2.
Our next story is about 2 shows that are burning up the television like nobody's business, with 2 hot women doing it.
Hey, girl! I'm saying. We speak.
Kerry Washington and Taraji P. Henson are experiencing tremendous success and for their roles in Scandal and Empire. I noticed on social media how particularly African Americans are posting comments as to bear the question, who's the better actress? What comes up for me is, while reading all these posts, is why do black people feel the need to compare these actresses who are playing these 2 totally different roles in 2 totally different TV shows, and there seems to be this inside racism that I can't explain that's going on. So I just want to know, why can't people accept the fact that these 2 women are part of an explosion of powerful African American women on TV in leading roles with high ratings, not to mention behind the scenes are also women. Mm-hmm. So I just want to know, how do you feel about that? I mean, do you think it's some kind of stereotyping going on because the 2 shows are different? You know, we got the sassy girl who, who knows the business, and you got the girl who can speak every language in the dictionary.
Yeah, okay. I think it's comparing apples and oranges. It's 2 totally different shows, 2 totally different roles, 2 totally different women. I think we should just be happy and celebrate that there are 2 black women in lead roles on network television and shows that are doing really well, you know, that are created by 2 black people, you know. So I think it's literally comparing apples to oranges. It's not the same show. Like, both shows are amazing, and they're not on the same night.
Exactly. It's not like you gotta pick and choose.
You can watch both
You got
of
a
them.
DVR. Even if that was the case, like, people just.
And even Shonda Rhimes, who created Scandal,
and Grey's Anatomy,
and
How to Get Away with
Murder, and all
and
of
more
those
to come.
shows. She tweeted something about Empire, saying like, yes, you know, watch Empire, and how great she thought it was, and Lee Daniels, and they're supporting each other. So I think if they're supporting each other and they don't have a beef amongst them, why do we do that?
I don't know, but I thought, for me, I know when I first saw Empire, the very first show, I didn't see the very first show, I saw the second show. And I remember telling some friends, I don't know if I can watch that because it's a little too ghetto for me. I remember.
Wait, what?
It said, I'm being honest with
show?
you guys, it was Empire.
I had to make sure we were talking about the same
It was
show.
Empire. it was Empire. And
Okay.
because for me.
I heard that same thing after like the first episode too.
It was
So-
because I caught it on the second episode, and I said, and I think that was the night that the Jamal. I know, is Jamal the rapper? Is he the?
No, that's Hakeem.
Okay, Hakeem. Hakeem said
You clearly
something.
watched that ghetto
he
show.
said something really, really negative about President Obama.
Yes.
And I just thought, I don't want to see, because I know there are people who feel like he does about President Obama.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to connect with it. So immediately I called it ghetto. I was mad. I didn't want to see it. Then the train wreck happened again. And now I'm hooked. So, you know, I know how people can begin to stereotype the two shows, because Kerry Washington, I've heard that Kerry Washington, people don't watch it because she's sleeping with Caucasian men.
Oh my God! You know what? Okay, can I say this? Like,
I
this
mean,
just
I've
bothers
heard
me. Like, we finally have people who look like us leading shows on major networks. So why pick it apart? Like, there are things that people don't like. They're not gonna like your dress. They're not gonna like your dress. That shouldn't stop you from watching the show. You know what I'm saying? Because of the content. You know what I'm saying? People are gonna pick little crazy things. To me, it's crazy.
Right.
You know, I understand that. Okay, so he talked about the president. That's a part of the storyline, because there's a progression there. It's moving the storyline in a certain direction. There are things that happen after that as a result of him saying that, and he's a young kid who's saying something stupid because he's thrust into the spotlight. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
He wants that attention, but he's doing it the wrong way, and they show that. And I think that's the great thing about that show. People said, oh my God, this is so ghetto. Oh my God, this is so this. But this is a portrayal of partially real life.
It is.
But it's partially fantasy.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's partly a story, and people need to recognize that. You don't say that. No one was saying that when, you know, characters get killed all the time on Revenge.
Yes.
Nobody's screaming anything about that.
Right. Okay.
So why these shows?
Well, I don't know, and that's what made it so disturbing. And I asked, you know, could we talk about that?
You just can't make everybody happy, because if there were no TV shows on right now that represented black people at all, then we'd be complaining about that.
Right.
So now that we have those shows,
Right.
then we got to pick that apart.
Right.
Now we're not satisfied about that. You just can't make everybody
I thought
happy.
it was, when all the hype came up, I thought, oh, here's another ghetto show on television. And they kept putting it in your ear. You didn't have a choice. You knew this Empire was coming on. And I didn't watch the first show, but when I got to work and everybody talked about the major scene, which was the two guys kissing, I mean, that just set everything off, you know. And then you watch it. I think it's also wonderful to know that, and also talking about this controversy, it brings more attention to it. The more we talk about it, I think it's great. It puts them in the forefront. You know, it gives life to the actual story. I congratulate all the leading women that we have, and I think we should all support them. From we don't talk about her either. Gina Torres, I think she's on Suits, another leading black actress. You know, there are lots of them out there. I just think we need to back them and support them, you know, any way we can.
Well, I can't agree with you more. And do you think that this would happen, or at least I don't hear it, when there are two shows on that have Caucasian women in leading roles? You don't hear it.
And that's the point. I think ultimately it's up to us to kind of kill our Willie Lynches. We have to, it's just a slave mentality.
Yep.
And it's happened throughout history.
Yeah.
And it was just a form of racism where they pit us against each other. It was, do you want Martin Luther King or you want Malcolm X? Is it Booker T. Washington or W.B. Du Bois? Is it Michael Jackson or is it Prince? Is it Brandy or is it Monica? It's like they always give us two people and they force us to choose when we should just really say they're both really good and we're going to support both. And we're tired of you force feeding us and trying to make us choose one or the other. And with that slave mentality, when we remember when the Cosby Show first came out, people were like, oh, this is not realistic. You're not going to have a father that's a doctor and a mother that's a lawyer. This isn't realistic. We're not going to watch it. It's it's us. We're doing it to ourselves. Yeah, they started it, but we've got to stop it at some point and say it's a good show. Yeah, we've got doctors, we've got lawyers, Indian chiefs, all of this, and it's good, and it's ghetto, and these people have money, and we're going to watch it all.
We're going to watch it.
All of it, and love it.
I agree with Shana. Thank you.
I love the studio audience.
Look, I had a rough day at work. I don't need you hassling me about my smoking.
Hey, I just smoke when I'm out with my friends.
Yeah, cigarettes are expensive, but I work, I pay my bills, I can afford it. You know, you gotta die something. Might as well be cancer.
What are you passing along to your kids? Quit for yourself, for your family, for your legacy. For free help, call or go online.
Just a little cough. Nothing to worry about.
When you throw away money on wasted electricity, you're throwing away everything you could have bought with it. Saving energy saves you money. Learn more at EnergySavers.gov.
Tick, 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 tick. Massive heat waves. Heat waves. Tick. Severe droughts. Tick, tick, tick. Devastating hurricanes. Tick, 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 tick.
Our future is up to you. Go to fightglobalwarming.com while there's still time.
Well, we're going to go to New York for a minute because there's this person that lives in New York City. His name is the ex-mayor Giuliani. And a few weeks ago, he made a statement about President Obama, accusing him of not loving Americans. Democrats are attacking the former mayor for saying the president doesn't love America, and they're urging the potential field of Republican presidential candidates to rebuke his comments. Giuliani said, well, you know, at a Manhattan event, I know this is a horrible thing to say, but I do not believe that the president loves America. His comments were made at the dinner brought to mind a familiar conservative criticism during Obama's 2008 and 2012 campaign, that he wasn't proud enough of the United States. But during this presidency, a smaller sector falsely acclaimed that Obama was not born in the United States, but rather in his father's native Kenya. The private dinner was attended by Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, who was considering a 2016 campaign. Giuliani said that with all the flaws, we're the most exceptional country in the world. I'm looking for a presidential candidate who can express that, do that, and carry it out. Giuliani. Obama doesn't love Americans. Really? Really?
Isn't he retired?
Really? He's
For a
so
reason.
retired.
Okay, so
he is so ousted.
It's like
Racist. Hashtag he's a racist. Next topic.
Exactly. It's like, you still talking?
He's a racist, but he does have a First Amendment right to say whatever he wants to say. And I think it was dumb. We know it, but they say dumb things all the time.
Yeah.
So by saying they, I mean racist. They say stupid stuff all the time. But for us to expect, or for Democrats to expect all Republicans to rebuke him, it's a waste of time. We're all friends. We hang out together. If you say something crazy in public, how dare someone ask me to rebuke you? I mean, he's an adult, and he has to answer for his words. He's a racist. I'm done.
Well, look at this. It's getting close to election year, and we,
So you gotta
you know,
say stuff,
both
right.
parties have to find something against the other party to put that
Right.
to put the party down so that it can uplift their section. This is pretty much all they have,
Right.
which is nothing. I believe that they're running scared, trying to find an angle to come at, and they really can't find a legal angle. So they're coming up with crazy stuff like the birth certificate or he doesn't love America. I mean, there's so many actions that he's done to prove that he loves America. So that's pretty much nonsense in my opinion.
But it doesn't make sense because he's not running in the next election.
Like he said, he's already won. He said he's already won. So why?
He's already won twice.
Measure
Didn't we
love
said
like that? Like that doesn't even make sense. It's not quantifiable. So you can't it's nonsensical. Go away.
There's no, you can't base that on any. It's baseless, you know. I could say you don't love whatever, but like, what do I?
You don't love this show enough.
You don't love this show
like
enough.
that's crazy.
Well, the funny thing is, for someone to love America and to be such a patriot, you are going to put down the president of the United States, but you love America, Rudy Giuliani.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, that's so much love.
Yeah.
Putting
That's
down the
un-American.
leader of the free world in public.
Yeah.
But you love America.
Let's send Giuliani a message. Wonk, wonk, wonk.
Next topic.
Wonk, next topic.
Bye.
Wonk,
Bye, Felicia.
wonk.
Deuces, Rudy.
Go.
When life's this hard, graduating can be even harder. But you can help Ativa and the students in your community make it through by visiting boostup.org.
Here we go. We're gonna make some juice.
It's gonna
You
be
ready?
good.
She's excited. A little bit of kale.
Please don't put this on
I'm putting it all over the line.
It's wet. It needs something. No, it'll go.
Don't break my juicer. Looks good.
You ready to try it?
Come on, baby.
Challenge your kids to be active and eat healthy.
It's okay.
Okay, all right.
They might surprise you.
She took another sip. You saw it?
Search We Can for more ideas on how you and your kids can get healthy together.
Well, you know, this season we decided to have a segment of the show where we would give the panel an opportunity to, you know, throw something out on the table that for discussion that you like, called I Speak, and that's giving the panel an opportunity to throw something on the table and we kind of hash it out, you know, amongst ourselves. So, why don't we start with Shayna? Shayna.
Let's think. What do I want to speak about this week? Oh, I know. Okay. So let's talk about the Oscars. First, let's talk about how I lived for Jennifer Lopez's dress.
Oh, me too.
And the bronzing. But no, more importantly, that's newsworthy. I want to talk about Sean Penn. I want to talk about Sean Penn's comment.
Yes.
You guys all heard the comment that he made for the director who won for Best Director. He also won for Best Original Screenplay, and he's Mexican, of Mexican descent. And so Sean Penn says, who gave this SOB, son of a bleep, his green card? Just before announcing his name as being the winner.
He said it. Now the
gasp.
the actor, or I'm sorry, the person who won the Oscar was on Access Hollywood, and I'm sorry I don't have his name, but he said that he and Sean Penn joke with each other like that, and so it wasn't uncommon for him to hear that from Sean Penn. He just didn't expect it at the Oscars.
Well, they don't joke like that with each other in front of millions of people. So we're not familiar with that joke.
Exactly.
And I was offended.
Yeah.
And I'm not even full Latina.
Right.
Well, I'm
pero
half,
no
so-
está bueno.
but,
no me gusta.
But
Ay, caramba. I had an issue.
No, it took everybody by surprise when he said it, because, you know, when he said it, it was like, no, you didn't.
The same way we responded.
Yeah. And
so what? I didn't see this part of the Oscar. So what happened when he went to pick up the Oscar and got it out of his hand? Did they like dap each other up or hug or like laugh or?
Well, they hugged, and then it was hilarious. The director, I hate that we don't have his name, but he actually threw a little shade, because in his speech he spoke about how at some point he hopes there are some new immigration laws and how America will start to be more respectful of Mexican. Since they built this country, and I kind of was like, yeah, you went a little too far. You went a little too far, Biho. You didn't build this country. You helped. You helped.
That was his touche.
It was
to Sean Penn.
It was.
But he did put that out
like
there.
wrong time, wrong place.
Wrong time. How about you, Richie? I Speak.
Speaking of, falling, Madonna falling at the Brit Awards. Oh, you're not on social
It just happened a few minutes ago.
Literally just
I've
happened
given up
moments
social
before we
media.
got out here.
Yeah.
Apparently, she was performing her new song from her new album. And apparently, she was walking up the stairs, and I guess she was trying to untie her cape, and I don't know if a dancer stepped on it or they pulled it, and she went right down with it.
Yeah, it was tied
down
too
the
tight,
stairs.
and they were trying to pull it off. And she went falling down, and she's 50-something years old, and she got up and
fixed the wig and kept going.
She didn't have on a wig. but she did keep singing, which is as an entertainer, I can speak on this. Like, if you fall, and I have fallen on stage many times.
Imagine falling down those stairs?
Yeah, that looked like her and being like, she's in good shape, but still.
She fell
I have
back
fallen,
first.
and
She fell
I've even
backwards.
hurt myself. I have a scar to prove it there. But you just have to get back up. And she did. She got back up, and to her credit, because remember a few years ago, Elton John said that she lip syncs. Well, when she fell, she dropped the microphone, and there was no sound. So she was singing. So good for
Can
her.
you
but she
imagine
did
if
put
the
on her
track had just kept
Instagram.
going?
I know, that would have been awful. But to her credit, she did get back up, and she said that it was tied too tight, and it didn't come off. But she said, "I'm fine."
That's
she's
good.
fine.
Yeah.
So
She kept
she
going.
didn't break
I
anything.
blame the sound guy because when you see me fall, you better hit stop. you better hit stop. It's a live show. Hit stop. That track has to stop.
For everybody who's
gotta
running,
get back up.
For everybody who's running to the internet right now, I've seen it 3 times. Riley and Richie have shown it to me 3 times, so it is true.
It's not that funny. It looks like it
not
hurts.
funny. It's not something that.
Listen,
she fell backwards.
It's funny anytime somebody falls. It's funny when I
long as they're
fall.
okay.
So you
It's
just
only funny
gotta
after
laugh
you
it
find
off.
out that they're okay.
When she's okay, then it's like, oh my God.
And then she acknowledges it on her Instagram, and
But she didn't stop performing. She finished the performance, and that is what you do as a true entertainer. You get back
But if
up.
one of y'all fall, I'm
Naomi Campbell fell, and no one's ever let her live it down. But
Beyonce
she
has
got back
fallen.
up. Beyonce has fallen.
Everybody's fallen.
I've fallen. Everybody's
I'm
falls.
waiting
You
for
haven't
the
performed, you
remix.
haven't fallen.
I want the remix of Madonna. I
All
want
right,
the remix.
yeah.
Okay.
And the song actually has lyrics that says something about stumbling,
Oh,
and I'm
God.
gonna lift me back up.
Kudos to Madonna.
Very good.
So Riley, anything you want to speak?
Well, I actually want to talk about something personal, which I don't do a lot. But remember last season when I talked on the show Family Ties, when I talked about my relationship with my mother and with my parents, period, and how it was a strained relationship and we had not talked in years, and how my mother treated me and all those different things. Well, I'm happy to report that my mother and I mended our relationship, and we are like good girlfriends now. It's actually very strange.
Right.
She calls me up, and it's just like, girl, let me tell you what happened. I'm like, Mom, really? If you guys didn't see that episode, we basically were talking about how, relationships with parents, and my relationship stems from the fact that, I am transgender, and my mom did not like the fact that I was transgender. And now my mom has been to a show. She sat front row, and she had her big giant Galaxy Note videotaping and she's been showing her friends, and it's just a different world because now I'm getting to know a different person than I did before, and she's so supportive and really proud. And I worked, 15 years for my mother to be proud, and I waited, that long for my mom to come to a show. And I couldn't believe that my mom was like, I'm up there dancing and remembering my choreography and singing and stuff. And I'm looking and I'm thinking to myself, this is surreal because I've always, had other entertainers that I worked with have their parents in the audience. And I thought that will never be me. My mother would never come to a show. And for her to be proud of it. And she's so funny because I'll send her pictures of me backstage. And so now she has gotten so used to it that she will call me. She's like, did you have a show last night? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, well, I didn't get a picture. And I'm like, oh, okay, fine, I'll send you a picture. So she is fantastic. So maybe one day we'll get her in the audience of We Speak. I don't know.
That would be sweet. I feel like I want to hug you, but I'm too mic'd. I so much holding me back here. I can't.
You might
I
come
can't do it.
undone, yeah.
Okay, congratulations.
No, thank you.
Thank you. How about you, Ernest?
All right, what is it?
I Speak.
Okay, here's
Throw
my
it
speech.
out.
And this is for the ladies for the most part. Kim Kardashian. At what point do you stop posing nude? You have a newborn, you have a child that's going to eventually see this. At what point do you say, hey, that's enough?
Well, you don't have that body.
When you get a career.
I mean, do you think it affects the fact that
When you no
these
longer
children
have
are
the
going to
body.
eventually see this? And I mean,
When you
They'll
get
see
a
a lot of
they did
things.
before, but at what point do you say, hey, this is enough, I'm going to be a mother?
When you get
When
a
you
career.
no longer have that body.
Well, that is her career.
That is her career.
That is
a legitimate career. It sells magazines, it sells products. She has $62 million in the bank, and I don't think she got that from just sitting there.
Well,
you
the
know.
reality is the nude pictures. I'm sure she's probably taking all those, hoping that that's the only thing the kid sees. Because at some point, the kid is going to see her and Ray J. She wants to keep them away from that. And if she overloads them with nude photos that are artistic.
But I'm thinking you could say, okay, this is before.
But you know what?
Before
you remember when she
This is
like
crazy.
let's flash back like about a year and a half ago when she was pregnant.
Right.
Yeah.
And how they tore her apart, called her a whale. They put pictures up. She was huge. They're like, "Are you having twins?" She was. Yeah. And she said while she was pregnant, "I can't wait to take a picture and just be like F you to everybody." And she did. Her body is snapped back, and it looks
It
amazing.
didn't snap back. She got work, and I don't care.
Well,
so you're not.
She got it
There's
back.
some airbrushing
No matter how she got it back.
It's some airbrushing. It is some
some
lipoing.
Yeah.
I don't
Here's the
care
thing,
about
though,
seeing
like,
that body.
I just feel like
of course it
nudity
goes a long way.
here is a big deal to people. Nudity everywhere else is not a big deal. So it's kind of like, to me, I just take it as art. You know, and one knows it's going to get a lot of attention. You know, it's going to sell more magazines based on that. Like, if she's in that, her Vogue cover is going to sell more. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything else that she does after that is going to continue to sell because we're going to continue to talk about it.
And it's part of her brand.
So do you think she'll ever become a mother, or she just always have a nanny? And
mother.
I think she's a mother now,
Yeah.
but I just think that her job is just a little bit non-conventional.
Well, unzip me. Let me just take this. Let me just take the pressure off of
Okay,
Kim.
you know what?
Unzip
But you know what the thing
Family show.
is if you go on my Instagram and my Facebook, I get flack for taking because I'm proud that I worked hard on my body and I have the body that I have, and I take pictures of it all the time.
You know what? I did it the other day.
And you know,
Boom.
what? And people talk to me all the time about. They're just like, really? Like, I can't believe you did that. And I'm like, yeah, I did, because I'm really proud of it. And this is a motivation for a lot of people that look up to me that say, you know, they want to lose weight or they want to, you know, get fit, whatever. But you know, I get flack for it all the time too, so I understand. But it is also, I mean, nobody's looking to Kim Kardashian or me to give you like a moral compass or to be like the voice of like something political. You know what I mean? Like that's not her job. That's not how we were introduced to her, and that's not her brand. That's not part of her brand.
Yes, sir. We were,
And she takes
we were
care
not
of Blue
introduced to her.
Ivy-
That's
of
right.
Blue
When we
Ivy,
met
of
her,
North.
she was naked. So she's consistent. Kim is consistent.
Hashtag
But she takes care of North. North is in her arms, and she takes selfies with North, and they're playing. She plays in her dress, you know, all that stuff.
North
She's
goes
a
to
mom.
fashion shows.
North goes to
North
fashion
will be in
shows
the
and
next
turns it
nude
out.
pic nude.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
I'm just saying.
we have come to an end.
Ah,
We have come to another end of our wonderful show, and I have to bring it down. But first, I want to say thank you to our studio audience for coming out tonight. We really do appreciate it. And until we see you again for our our second show. We look forward to seeing you again when next we speak. Have a good night, everybody.